Scrum, right?
Hello, Rob.
Hey, how's everyone doing? Comment ça va? Okay, fire away.
From Michael Hage, just your thoughts on him being drafted and what you've seen from him?
Yeah, I mean, it's first viewing for me live. Saw a little bit of tape, but pretty smooth. You know, you can see the skill set there. Great release. Very confident out there for a young guy. So yeah, exciting.
A kid like him looks like he even said like strength is one of the things he needs to
Absolutely.
work on. So his university route going to Michigan.
Yeah. You know, 2 games a week, so they have that chance to hit the weight room. It's a great program, obviously. They've put a lot of guys in the NHL, so I think it's a good development path for him.
Do you think you need the whole 4 years, or just a couple of years should be enough for him?
Well, we'll take it 1 year at a time right now.
It seems as though the mindset has been changed a little bit for this camp this year, with a lot of prospects not coming, maybe more invitations and more tryouts than before.
Yeah, well, you know, some of the European players, especially the guys who are going to turn pro, you know, Messar, Engstrom, rather than bring them back and forth, Reinbacker's another one, Kapanen, you know, let them continue with their training back home. They'll get over here in August sometime before camp.
I don't know how much you knew about Demidov before they drafted him, or when you see clips of him or whatever, what excites you most about him as a player?
About
Demidov, first through.
Yeah, you know what? I met him briefly in Las Vegas after the draft. Solid, seemed like a confident young man. Very excited to be, you know, a Montreal Canadien. So, other than that, you know, just what I've read about what you guys say.
But for you, for someone who likes to follow up on these guys, the fact that you won't necessarily be able to do that with him if he's playing in Russia, I mean, what's that going to be like for you? What is your, I guess, how are you going to follow him? How do you come up with a plan?
Well, it's a little different with the Russians, you know, right now, especially with what's going on in our world. But, you know, we'll have eyes on him. We'll have Nick Bobroff, obviously, is very connected. So we'll do our best, but it's a little bit more of a difficult situation.
What's your message to these players that are on the ice? Like, do you tell them what you want to see, or you leave it up to them to try and show you?
Well, we'll be doing exit meetings commencing tonight and tomorrow. And, you know, it's, you know, first time camp for many of these guys. They all went through physical testing, so, you know, we'll have our sports science guy sit in with us, things they need to work on physically. And then, you know, just some of the goals, get to know them. But it's the first introduction to them. And, you know, we'll be following them after they leave here and get into their regular season.
I know you visited Reinbacher a few times last year. How did you, I guess, observe him navigating what was obviously kind of a difficult set of circumstances last season? What was your role in helping him sort of manage that?
Yeah, it was a tough season in Float, and they went through 3 coaches. He had such a good camp here. You know, his maturity on the ice is beyond what he is off the ice. So I think I went in there end of November, and he'd just come back from injury. Team was struggling. He was struggling. And so we tightened some things. We had some really good conversations. We were there. I think there were a lot of voices hitting him on him at that point, and really wanted him to simplify that. You know, sometimes these guys can really overthink the game, and that will translate right into their hands and their feet. So we did that, and his second half was better. And then I think he played very well when he came to Laval.
How happy were you to get him in Laval? Like, how
real happy.
Was that
I think whenever we can do that, you know, and that's going to help him this year when he comes to camp. And, you know, those were critical games. We were fighting for a playoff spot, and he did well.
So in an ideal world, your prospects that are playing in your world, you'd always like to see them coming to Laval sooner rather than later.
Yeah, you know, Engstrom was in the same boat, but meaningful games. They went to the championship in the SHL, so we don't mind that at all. You know, he's playing with Brandon Davidson. You know, we've talked about Engstrom's. He needs to improve his defensive play. Well, Brandon was a great pairing for him, kind of like a big brother.
A guy like Florian Xhekaj, what would it take for him to take the next step and maybe one day join his brother?
Yeah, he had a great season last year. Started off in the wing. They put him at center, and just took off. But, you know, he's got the big frame. I like his brother. He's 6'4", I think he's only weighing in at around 195, 197. Like, he's not going to be 240 like the big truck. But once again, like so many of these guys, the off ice right now is going to be really important, and he's going to grow into it. You know what? There's a lot to like about this guy.
Regarding the 15 tryout guys, the invitees, just how much can you evaluate them in such a short window? Like, can you get much out of it, or not really?
I'm not that good. We've got our scouts here, and you try to do what you can, because they get 2 days on the ice and then a scrimmage tomorrow. So they're great. You know what? We're here on Monday when they all came in, and you could see how excited they were being invited to the Montreal Canadiens Development Camp. It's really kind of cool to see.
I know Bob Rob described Florian as a unicorn when he got drafted. Were you surprised by the offensive explosion he had last season?
Yeah, absolutely. He had a good rookie tournament. He scored, I think, in the red-white game, but that wasn't what we actually drafted him as. And then 35 goals, something like that. I got to see him quite a bit this season, and very responsible though. Like, his hockey sense was way better, I think, than everyone anticipated, and he's still raw. So. It's like I said, very excited about him.
Is he locked for Laval, or it could go down to play overage?
Yeah, we'll see. That's what training camp's all about, the rookie tournament, and then get into training camp. So he's certainly trending that way.
With the hiring of Korpakowski there in Europe, is you going to be taking less trips to Europe next year?
Well, we'll see, but what a great pickup for us. I think that was on Monday, a big free agent signing, getting Laurie on board. But he's based he lives in Turku, where Koivu is. So perfect. It's going to work out really well.
What's the cap hit?
Yeah, well, we haven't disclosed terms yet.
Seeing Owen Beck the other day, he physically looks like an NHL player.
Yeah.
Like, you can see the difference from a couple of years ago. Where has he made the biggest progress, do you think? And do you think he's ready, to compete for a spot this season?
Well, that's what he's coming in with that mindset, and his camp last year probably wasn't as good as his rookie camp, and Paul Byron, we put Paul on him, and Owen embraced everything Paul threw at him, and his game just took off. So I think the pro habits is what stands out the most for me, and the determination. Like, he goes to Saginaw. He went to win, and he did. He had a great Memorial Cup. So, you don't mind seeing, Reinbacher's case too, them going through a little adversity at this point, because they're going to face it again. It's how you respond and react to it, and Owen did that. I mean, his first 10 games in Peterborough were really, really tough.
Are you getting signs that the offense is going to translate to the next level? Because I think that was always the question mark a little bit. So over the last 2 years,
yeah, we'll see. I mean, he's, once again, as a coach, you always like some offense, but you got to be able to play the 200-foot game to get an opportunity to have that offense, and he has that. He's a very smart young man. He's going to figure it out. He has kind of figured it out to a certain extent.
It seems as though Philip Eriksson surprised some people last year with how effective he was offensively in Sweden. What can you tell us about his season? What were your impressions of how he's been improving as a player?
Yeah, he came here last year. He looked like he was 14 years old. I mean, really, really young. And, he started with a big team. Was playing like 7-8 minutes a night, which isn't great for development. They sent him to the Alfenska in Nybro, and he took off and, put up numbers. He played really, really well for them. The big team called him back for the playoffs. He made an impression. And actually, I came in here Monday, he was sitting eating, and I didn't recognize him. Like, I literally kind of walked by him, and then someone said, Philip's here. I thought, oh, geez. So, he doesn't look 14 years old, maybe 17, 18 now. but he's developed,
Right, but to which extent his game is translatable to the North American game, you think?
Well, he's still in that development process, but I think, the big club there expect him to find a seat, and that's, once again, that's going to be critical. We don't want to see him playing 7-8 minutes. Mm-hmm. He wants to bump up the lineup, and he's on that path.
How valuable would it be for the move that Kapanen's making from Liga to the SHL, how do you think that's going to help him prepare for North America?
Yeah, another guy last year, I went over before Christmas and saw him play. He was pretty good. He played a good game. Then I was going over in February to see him, and 2 days before I left, he got picked up by the national team. So I went to Sweden, watched him play 2 games, and he was the youngest player on the team, and you would never know it. He was playing power play, PK. Yuri Lehtinen was the GM, said we're going to invite him to the World Championship camp. Don't expect him to make it because we'll bring back the NHL guys. He ends up playing, he produces in the World Championship. So he was on a great path, is on a great path. He's going to play for Olli Jokinen, who's done a very, very good job developing guys in Finland. So I've talked to Olli a couple times. He's excited about having him. But what I liked about Olli said, he told Oliver, go to Montreal with the intention of trying to make that hockey club, which was pretty good for a guy that, he could be his number 1-2 center in Sweden. The coach is saying, hey, go and make an impression and go for it.
You were talking about Byron with Beck. How Paul making the adjustment, how important is that to your development team, and what makes him good at this new job that he has?
Well, he's not that far out of the game. Paul's what a story. I mean, we picked him up on waivers, and this guy, found a way, had a good career, good solid career. He's very honest with young guys, which is great. He has their respect right off the hop, and he's a forward. Frankie and I think a little bit differently. As Terry Harper told me, never trust a forward. We're trusting Paul.
Sam Harris went to Denver, obviously won a national championship, scored 14 goals as a freshman.
Yep.
What did you think of his first year?
I went and saw him, I think it was early February. He was playing fourth line, kind of limited minutes. David Carl, who, we've had players in Denver for the last 10 years, so I know David, great coach, really good program, liked him, just said, we got a really good team, and, he's going to have to find his way because right now there's just, we're stacked. They got some injuries, and, I didn't think I'd go back and see him, and he climbed the lineup and started scoring, so I went back and saw him play, and, it was interesting. They played a home-and-home with Colorado College. They lost in Colorado Springs the first night. Sam had a few turnovers. I'm thinking, oh boy, he's going back to fourth line. David threw him back out there the next night, scored the game-winning goal. So great progression for him too.
Looks good.
Oh yeah. He's got a little swagger too. He's he's a champion. Beck, we got a couple of them.
You were talking about Engstrom playing with Davidson and Rogla. He was playing on the right side, mainly on his offside.
Yes.
So, do you think that the fact that he would come to North America on a smaller ice, he would still be a candidate to play on his offside, or the game being so different, he's more likely to be slotted back on the left?
Well, he has great feet. His mobility, his skating is exceptional. So he's certainly capable of doing it. Once again, can he make that adjustment? And we don't know. And until he gets on that North American ice on a consistent basis. But this guy's a competitor. He's hungry.
What impressed you watching Adam Nicholas running those drills out there?
Oh, hey, he's
the loudest guy.
He needs a little more energy, right? No. It seems that the young guys love it, and some stuff is a little bit outside the box, which is cool. This isn't just basic meat and potatoes hockey, and nor is the game anymore. So, big cat, as he's known. He's a big voice.
How much,
Thanks, Rob.
just in terms of,
Okay.
it's the same drill 2 days in a row, more or less, right?
Yes.
So as a development guy, when you see that, what are you looking for in terms of what players are picking up from one day to the next and whatever? Are you looking at that at all? Or?
Nah, it's, what? It's July 4th. The fireworks are happening south of the border right now. We're just, they're learning something, trying to embrace it. And yeah, you hope to see that it's better the second day, but once again, we're not reading too much into it.
All right.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Okay. Thank you.
Rob.
Merci.
Enjoy the fireworks.
Slowly.
Just wondering what your first impressions are of Michael Age, having kind of skated with him for a couple of days.
Yeah, he's a good player. He's got some good size to him. Uses his body well to protect the puck, and he's pretty explosive out of tight turns, and got good hands to make plays. So, he should be a pretty good player down the road.
With the experience you've got at development camp like this, are you able to spot those who are in their first camp, the nervousness, and say, he's a newbie?
Not necessarily. There are guys that ask questions about the routine, the schedule, and whatnot. But when you step out on the ice, everybody's a good player here. That's the reason they're invited. And everybody just comes out and shows what they got. And this camp so far has been pretty competitive. So when you step out on the ice, it's pretty hard to differentiate against or between the guys that have been here a while and those who haven't.
Rob Ramage was telling us a couple of minutes ago how Paul Byron sort of made you his project last year. Would you describe how he helped you grow your game through the last season?
Yeah, he took a lot of my video, went through it, watched it a ton, and he would take clips that he liked, didn't like, and would kind of just break down what he sees, ask me what I see, and kind of give me suggestions that kind of translate more to pro, that would give me, more of an advantage at the level I'm playing at. So, he and I talked a lot, this season when I was both with Peterborough and in Saginaw. I think it, helped me grow my game a lot.
Rob Ramage was saying.
Sorry.
Sorry. I ask about your expectations for this coming season.
Just coming into next camp, regardless of where I'm going to be playing pro hockey. So my mindset is just to prepare myself for that as best I can. Come into the camp and just show what I can provide to either the Canadiens or the Laval Rockets. So just grow my game over the summer, make sure I'm physically mature enough to come in and play pro hockey and be able to excel at that level, whether that's the NHL or the AHL.
Rob Ramage was saying one of the things that makes Paul Byron good at his new job is he can be honest with guys. Is there an example of him maybe being honest with you at some point about something you had to work on or something you had to do? Never any one example really jumps out at me, but it's just he's never going to sugarcoat anything. He's going to tell me how it is, and at this level of hockey, you got to expect that. You got to be able to take it, and it's not like he's ripping me to shreds or anything, but he's not going to hold back if he sees something, because it's only going to make me better in the long run. So whether I want to hear it or not at that time, it's best for me, and it's obviously something that's just going to help me down the road.
How has the last year maybe changed you? With the experience at the World Juniors, the experience in the Memorial Cup. How do you feel different, maybe?
Yeah, just experience in those bigger games, bigger tournaments. I think they just kind of give you a feel of what the next level is going to be like. Maybe better than some regular season games in junior. I think the intensity kind of levels up when you get to that level. You're playing against better players, whether you're playing against the first or fourth line. It's generally the best players from their club teams. So. Any of one of those tournaments, any one of those experiences just helped me grow myself as a player, kind of teaches me how to play in those bigger moments, bigger games, and how to excel in them.
You've physically developed since you were drafted, obviously. Have you noticed, like when you do testing at these camps, have you noticed an improvement in different areas?
They always give us our metrics, and I believe from camp to camp I've slowly improved on the test. I've yet to see this year's results, but I'm not sure what to expect just coming off like a long season, bit of rest, and then not a lot of time working out. But as long as I can maintain it, those results from last year into this year, I'll be happy with that. But I think the other area I see it is just on the ice against junior players. Obviously, when you come into the league, you're not the most physically dominant, but as you grow and get older, you start to feel it. The work kind of pays off, and then when the younger guys come in, you start to feel more like you have a physical advantage over them, which is just the way the league works. But you know, that's kind of the process that I've felt.
You've obviously been through tons of practices in your life. What makes Adam Nichols' drills or routines out here maybe a little different apart from that? Have you ever heard a louder coach than that on here?
He's certainly energetic, intense, enthusiastic, and those are great qualities to have in a coach. You know, he wants everybody to you know, succeed and excel and be the best that they can be. But you know, his drills are so intense. You know, he gives us, you know, a kind of selection of skills that he wants us to apply into those drills beforehand in, you know, a warm-up setting, and and then we take it and we apply it in those drills. And I think that that's a great way of doing it, because, you know, you can get the feel for the movement, whatever skill it is, and then you can apply it into a fast-paced, high-intensity area. And I think that's really one of the best ways to improve your game.
Rob Ramage was saying that Philip Eriksson last year looked like he was 14 years old, and he grew up a bit and looks older. So it's the second year that you see him at this development camp. Have you noticed him a bit on the ice? Is there anything you can tell me about the appreciation of that player?
Yeah, I mean, like, it's tough to see everybody individually, especially when I'm trying to focus on, you know, on my own stuff. So it's probably better to get Rammer's take on that. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure he's a lot more comfortable and everything, coming to a second camp and everything. And you know, I think it'll, you know, it becomes easier. You get familiar with the coaches, the routine, whatnot. So even that off-ice aspect can definitely help him grow.
Sorry to keep you guys waiting.
You better be. We're used to waiting.
Yeah, wasn't sure I had media, so.
What was behind your little delay to the start of camp? Was that...
Oh, I just had to run some tests just to make sure everything's fine. It was just nothing really. I was out there after the first session. I was out there, so everything's good.
Just, this is your second one of these camps. I'm just curious how what's the process for you ingesting all the information they're giving you, and what's your kind of take on the priorities that they're trying to get put through to you?
Yeah, obviously it's my second year, so I'm a little more comfortable here, and yeah, I'm just trying to let the younger guys know like what to do and just be a good role model for them, and yeah, I feel super confident out there.
How do you explain your surge in goal scoring last season? The way, Rob Ramage, he was a little bit surprised that wasn't what they looked for when they drafted you, but obviously an added benefit.
Yeah, I don't know. I always knew I had skill and a good shot. It's just like opportunity. I mean, I got opportunity to play with some top players on my team, and I just capitalized on it, and yeah, pucks were going in.
How do you think you improved the most last season, taking away the stats just in general?
I think I just got bigger, stronger, more confident in the OHL, like confident as a person, off the ice. That helped a lot, and yeah, I think just confidence with the puck, handling the puck, shooting, just everything, yeah.
What kind of feedback does the staff give a player after a week like this? Rob was saying there's going to be exit meetings. So what kind of goals?
Yeah, they'll just let you know like what you need to work on for the summer and what their expectations are of you. But usually we have a pretty good idea on what they want to see out of you, and yeah, just be ready for main camp usually.
You feel it's more physical stuff, like strength and conditioning, or can they focus on also skills things?
Yeah, I mean it's everything. They're obviously watching everything we do, so they know us, they know how we play, and yeah, they know what we need to do to get to the next level.
You said you got more confident off the ice as well. How do you explain why? Is it just being drafted?
Yeah, obviously that's a part of it. I mean, just having that label's pretty good, and then, I mean, just like getting older, I don't know, more comfortable in my body and stuff as I've been growing. So yeah, I just feel comfortable.
Who from the Canadiens Development Team spent the most time with you maybe last season? Was it Rob Ramage or somebody else?
Yeah, it was probably Frankie and Rob. We had a few dinners with them, and then Frankie would meet up with me after games. So yeah, both of them, we talk all year. So yeah, it was really good.
What do you think you took out of your time in the AHL, as brief as it was? What can you take from that to carry over into this year, and what benefit do you think it had?
Yeah, it definitely had a lot of benefit for me. I mean, playing with older guys. Obviously, I was one of the older guys in the OHL, and then going up for 3 games in the AHL was definitely different. I mean, everyone's bigger, stronger, older in general, and just they've been playing the game for longer. So yeah, took a lot from the game, and obviously I'm trying to apply that with my game, and yeah, be ready for wherever I play next year.
Was it a pleasant surprise to sign that deal at that time, that contract, instead of maybe having to wait until training camp and show that you're ready and deserving of that contract?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, like I felt like I was ready. Like I had a great year, and it was just a matter of time, I think, for myself. And yeah, obviously it's better signing then, and then kind of the weight off my shoulders a little bit at camp. Looking forward to that, but yeah.
What do you like about the sort of the atmosphere and playing in Laval, and how sort of cool is it that it's close to Montreal, like you're not off?
Oh yeah.
Or somewhere like it used to be.
No, it's awesome. I mean, I played one home game there in practice, like for a week there, and yeah, the rink's unreal, and the fans were unbelievable. I mean, I was walking in the rink, and they were like yelling, like trying to take pictures and stuff. I was like, guys, I gotta play a game. But yeah, no, it's super cool. It'd be an honor to play there next year.
You made it to a couple of Canadiens games too, right? If I'm not mistaken, I thought I saw you at one of them.
Yeah, watching. Yeah, I watched a few this year, and then yeah, I watched the last one when Mayu and Hudson got called up to play. Yeah, so I was watching them. So yeah, it was pretty cool.
Are your brothers still looking to sign a contract? I mean, they had a qualifying offer, I should say, but you've kept in touch with them a lot heading into this camp?
Yeah, obviously he's talking to me about the camp and stuff, and just like what to expect. But obviously I know I've been here last year, and I don't really know too much about him with his contract. I just kind of do my own thing.
When you say wherever I play next year, do you expect it to be a challenge sticking in Laval for the whole season next year?
No, I mean, like when I say that, I mean like Montreal, Laval, or Bulldogs. Like I'm confident. Like, I want to make the Montreal Canadiens this year. Like, that's what I'm here to do. So, yeah, when I say that, that's what I mean.
So your brother shocked everyone by making the team a couple of years ago. How surprised would we be? How surprised would you be to make the team this year?
Yeah, I mean, for him, it was a pretty big surprise. But I mean, no teams really had him on the radar because of COVID, and then he got the invite and kind of made a name for himself. But yeah, same thing with me. Like, obviously, you guys kind of got the gist of my playing style and what I could bring to the table. But yeah, I'm just trying to work hard every day, and hopefully that happens.
Did you take part in those skates during COVID in Hamilton? I know Arbor was there, but did you do those, or were you too young? Or
Yeah, like my GM for Hamilton, he was running skates out of the Hamilton Bulldogs rink. Well, not anymore, but yeah, we were just running skates there. I was obviously pretty young. I was 16 years old, so I just signed Junior B that year during COVID. So yeah, I was just getting better with older guys, I guess.
You talk about your brand of hockey, the physicality aspect of your game. How do you see the challenge of using that physicality when you switch to a level of hockey when you're one of the youngest guys and you're facing mature, physically mature guys? So I guess it must be more difficult to apply that physicality when you're at that advantage.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, with my 3 games that I played, like, I'm used to playing against younger, like, smaller guys in the OHL, and I can kind of push them around like a lot easier. And these guys are big, like, they're grown men. Some of them have families, kids, and I'm out here like 19 years old. I was like, yeah, like, it's tough for me to like push them around a bit, but that's why I've been like eating a lot, working out a lot. I've been gaining muscle and weight for this upcoming season. So yeah, I'll be ready.
Do you have a little bit of bragging rights, or can you tease your brother a little bit the fact you were drafted and he wasn't?
Well, no, not really, because every time something happens with him, it's just me after. Like, I got drafted, but he played a year in the NHL. So, yeah, there's not much bragging I can do, but we'll see in the future.
Is your mom the biggest Montreal Canadiens fans on the planet?
She loves the team, yeah, for sure. I don't know about biggest, but yeah, she loves it. She's passionate about it, and she's super happy that we're both with the Canadiens.
Yeah. Thanks for your time.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.